With all the different ingredients that skincare brands sell, it can feel like you need a complex routine of 10 different products in order to reach your skincare goals. I fell victim to this when I first started getting super interested in skincare. I started trying 10 different serums all at once with the hope of making my skin perfect. Unfortunately, that did not work, and it just left me very frustrated and with a lot of money wasted. On the bright side, I did start working with product formulators on skincare products at work, and I discovered the Dermatologist Dr. Dre on YouTube, whose videos I studied religiously, so I started to break through the clutter. After months of research, I had two main takeaways. The first is that the most important thing is to get the basics down consistently. This means using a gentle cleanser, a good moisturizer, and wearing SPF every single day. The second main takeaway is that there is one single ingredient that targets the majority of all skin concerns out there: wrinkles, acne, dark spots, uneven texture, and dullness. And it is one of the only ingredients with years of clinical research to support its efficacy. This is very important to understand because this is not the message that you get from skincare brands. Sure, other ingredients have positive benefits, but if you're going to use one single ingredient to level up your basic routine for nearly every skin concern, the clear option is a retinoid. This is not to say that other ingredients and products are not worth your time. And unfortunately, retinoids will not work for 100% of people. But based on all of the clinical research done in skincare, retinoids stand out by far as having the most clinically backed support indicating their long-term benefits. So if you're going to add one ingredient to your basic routine, it should definitely be a retinoid. Don't get distracted by the other products out there until you have tried the one thing that has the most research behind it. Hi, I'm Amy, and I've been working in the beauty industry for the last 10 years, and I'm here to show you that skincare and makeup doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. I'm going to be sharing tips and tricks that I've learned by working with product formulators to develop beauty products and through my own trial and error in my 20s and early 30s. So if that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe and keep watching. First up, we're going to talk about the benefits of retinoids. Retinoids are topical vitamin A. Tretinoin, which was originally launched under the brand name Retin-A, was the first retinoid. It was originally used as an acne treatment in the 1970s, but researchers later discovered that it also evens hyperpigmentation, softens rough spots, fades age spots, and increases the rate of cell turnover. It also diminishes fine lines and wrinkles over time by increasing collagen production. The main downsides to retinoids are that they can cause irritation, it takes your skin some time to get used to them, a process called retinization, and it does require some attention when learning how to use them. Also, you have to be patient. It takes 3 to 6 months of regular use before you're going to see full results. And the best results take 6 to 12 months. But if you can be patient and move past the short-term issues, then you can reap the extensive benefits of retinoids, including improving skin's texture, lightening dark spots, reducing acne by unclogging pores, reducing wrinkles, and creating a healthy, youthful appearance. With retinoids, there is this retinization period, which unfortunately is often a gets worse before it gets better type of situation. Retinization is the adjustment period where the skin adapts to the retinoid treatment. Skin may become irritated, which results in either dryness, tightness, redness, peeling, or a burning or stinging sensation. These symptoms can last anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, and some people might not experience any of them at all. I love retinoids because it is a long-term treatment that can provide fresh, glowing skin. Unfortunately, in the short term, retinoid use can lead to temporary, frustrating symptoms such as increased breakouts and, as we discussed, peeling, redness, itching. While I know this can be super frustrating, my recommendation is to try not to get discouraged and just remind yourself that this is just a short-term issue and that the long-term benefits very much outweigh these short-term side effects. And when I take you through how to apply retinoid, I'm going to talk you through a few tips that will help reduce the irritation that you might experience. Next, we're going to talk about how to choose a retinoid product. Retinoids are an umbrella term for over-the-counter and prescription derivatives of vitamin A that are converted into retinoic acid in your skin. I don't want to get too technical on you, but basically retinols are in an ester form, which means it needs to go through 2 steps in order to be converted into retinoic acid in your skin. Retinaldehyde, also known as retinol with an A, is another retinoid or derivative of vitamin A, and this form requires only 1 step to be converted into retinoic acid in your skin. And then another derivative of vitamin A is retinoic acid, which does not need to be converted, and so it starts working in your skin right away. So essentially, the more conversions required, the weaker the product. So that means that retinols with an O are less intense and will work more gradually. This also means that retinols are less irritating and it will take longer to see results. Because retinoic acid doesn't require any steps in order to start working in your skin, it is stronger. This means that it can get to work more quickly and you'll see results faster, but it also means that it is more irritating. Retinaldehyde, or retinol with an A, is sort of in between, whereas it's not quite as irritating as retinoic acid, it's not quite as gentle as retinol with an O. Next, I'm going to provide a few product recommendations within each of the 3 categories. We're going to start with the most gentle, which is retinol with an O, and this is the best place to start for beginners. When talking about retinol products, it's important to recognize that not all retinols are created equal. Because retinols are not regulated by the FDA, they are a cosmeceutical ingredient. They do not need to demonstrate their efficacy or their stability. And it's important to note that retinol is not super easy to stabilize. With that in mind, we really recommend buying a retinol product that is from one of the larger skincare companies that has a long-standing track record of efficacy and strong research and development. Examples of this would be L'Oreal and Johnson & Johnson. They both have been formulating with retinol for a very long time and have done significant studies to demonstrate the efficacy of their products. That's not to say that retinols from smaller beauty companies are bad or not effective. They definitely might be, but it's hard to really know because the formulas aren't regulated by the FDA. So I just feel more comfortable recommending a product that has more of a long-standing track record in this specific case. But if you are using a retinol from a smaller brand that you are loving and seeing great results with, then keep on using that. So first up, we have the CeraVe Resurfacing Retinol Serum. This is a great retinol for beginners. CeraVe is owned by L'Oreal, so it is one of those brands that has backing behind it, and I definitely trust this retinol formulation. This particular formula is also really great because it has niacinamide and licorice root, which target brightening. So in addition to having the retinol improve any dark spots and texture, this retinol is also going to have some extra ingredients to help brighten. For that reason, it's a great option for people who struggle with post-acne hyperpigmentation or dark spots. My next recommendation for those starting off with a retinol product would be the Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair Cream. Neutrogena is owned by Johnson & Johnson, which is another well-trusted company for formulating retinols. And this is a great starter retinol product. What I love about this one is that the retinol is already in the face cream, so it's really a multi-purpose product. You can just use this one step in your nighttime routine as your moisturizer and your retinol, and you're good to go. For retinaldehyde, my recommendation would be the Aven 0.1 Intensive Cream. While retinaldehyde is slightly more intense than retinol, this specific formulation is quite gentle, and it is even safe to be used around your eyes and around your mouth, which means it's great for targeting crow's feet. Because this is a cream, you can use this as your nighttime moisturizer, but this is quite expensive and using it that way will get pretty pricey. So you could also use this as a targeted treatment where you just take a pea-sized amount and apply it as your retinol treatment on top of your moisturizer. So now we're going to talk about retinoic acid, which is the strongest derivative of vitamin A. First up, we have the different adapalene gel at 0.1%. Adapalene is a 3rd generation of retinoic acid, and it used to only be available as a prescription. It is now available over the counter at 0.1%, and it is an FDA-approved treatment for acne. It is definitely the over-the-counter option that has the most research supporting its efficacy in not only targeting acne, but also improving sun damage, so targeting anti-aging. This is definitely the strongest option that you can get over the counter. So if you're looking to level up and you're no longer a beginner, definitely give this one a try. La Roche-Posay also makes an adapalene product. It is the same active ingredient. It is also an FDA-approved treatment for acne, and it is the strongest retinoid you can get over the counter. Lastly, we have prescription retinoids, or retinoic acid. The most famous one is Tretinoin, which was the original treatment, originally called Retin-A. And then there's also Tazarotene, which is another retinoic acid treatment that is also a prescription retinoid. Prescription retinoids are definitely going to be the strongest option, but that also means that they are the most irritating. My recommendation would be to start with an over-the-counter formula. You might even want to start with the gentlest retinol that I first recommended, either the CeraVe or the Neutrogena, and then over time you can build up to stronger over-the-counter retinoids, such as different adapalene gel. And then eventually, once you feel like your skin is used to that and doing well with that, you can upgrade to a prescription retinoid from your dermatologist. Also, there's no need to necessarily go to a prescription strength option someday. If you are are really loving your results with your current retinol or retinoid, that doesn't mean you have to upgrade it and make it stronger and stronger. The best retinoid option is really what is going to be tolerated by your skin so that you can use it every other night or every night. So that sweet spot for you might be a retinaldehyde, or it could be just a plain over-the-counter retinol. You don't necessarily need to use the strongest percentage in order to get the best results. What really is going to give you the best results is consistent use over a long period of time. So use whatever your skin can tolerate best, and that's going to give you the best results. Now I'm going to give you a guide for how to get started. Retinoids should only be applied at night, and because of the retinization process, it's really important to ease in. I'm going to give you an example schedule that you can use as a guide as you get started, but really you can build up your usage however feels right for you. Keep in mind that you should not be using any other active ingredients such as exfoliating acids, vitamin C, benzoyl peroxide, etc. on the same nights that you're using a retinoid unless specifically prescribed by your dermatologist. When you're starting out, you want to start out with just one night for the first week. Then you want to use it 2 times a week for the next 2 weeks. Then you can use it 3 nights a week for the next 3 weeks. Then after that, you can go for every other night. And then ultimately, you may want to work up to every single night. This process could take up to 2 to 3 months to really get to that every other night place. So be patient. I know it's a long process, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. And it's really more important that you work your skin up to be able to use this consistently versus going all in, causing really terrible retinization that is just too painful and then giving up on it altogether. Now I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty of how to apply a retinoid. And this process that I'm recommending is the routine that works best for me. And I think it is also best for beginners because it really focuses on avoiding irritation and dryness as much as possible. The directions on the product, and sometimes dermatologists will recommend that you start applying your retinoid to clean, dry skin as your first product. Instead of doing it that way, I'm actually going to recommend what some people call the sandwich method, where you actually apply your moisturizer first, then you apply your retinoid, and then optionally, if you'd like to, you can apply one more layer of moisturizer just to seal it in as a sandwich. The most important part of this specific method is that you're applying moisturizer first before you apply the retinoid. For your night routine, you're gonna wanna cleanse your face, and once you're done cleansing your face, don't completely dry it. Leave a little bit of water on your skin so that it is still a little bit damp. Next, you're going to apply your moisturizer to damp skin. I've talked about it a lot before, but this is the best way to ensure that your moisturizer is going to hydrate and then seal in that hydration. Then you're going to let your skin dry and let that moisturizer really absorb into your skin. Now, this process just ensures that you have a really nice, healthy, moisturized base for the retinol. This moisturizer will also serve as a buffer to help lessen some of the irritation that you can get when your skin is getting used to a retinoid. I still do this process even though I've been using retinoids for over 10 years now, because otherwise it's just too irritating on my skin. The next step is optional, but this is to use an ointment like Vaseline or the CeraVe Healing Ointment, and you want to use this to help protect your extra sensitive areas that have very thin skin, so the areas around your eyes and on your lips. This is really just serving as a stronger buffer to keep the retinoid out of these extra sensitive areas that won't necessarily tolerate the retinoid very well. You want to let your moisturizer fully dry, so after it's been about 2 minutes, you can go in with your retinoid. Here it is important to take a pea-sized amount on one pointer finger. You're gonna wanna distribute this product all over your entire face. With retinoids, it's really important to not only just treat one spot area, but actually to treat your entire face, because this is really a preventative measure. Take your other pointer finger to pick up the product. There's a 13 dot technique started by dermatologist Dr. Sam Bunting. 13 dots all over your face. So 3 across your forehead, 3 on each cheek, 2 on the nose, and 2 on the chin. Take both hands and gently massage the product into your face, rubbing it all over, but avoid getting it too close to your eyes and your mouth. There's an optional last step, which is to pile on another layer of moisturizer. If you're dealing with a lot of flakiness and painful dryness as you're going through the retinization process, then definitely try adding in this extra layer of moisturizer. I hope that this was helpful in explaining to you why retinoids are really the one and only ingredient that you need to be concerned with for pretty much any skin issues if you're really trying to level up your routine. You don't need to be overwhelmed by all the other ingredients out there. Just start with a retinoid and it's most likely going to target what you're looking for. Of course, it doesn't work for everyone, and I am sorry for the people who can't use it because it really does have such great benefits. That is everything. Definitely let me know if you have any questions or if there are any skincare ingredients you would like me to go over next. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.